What up, y'all? Welcome to season 1, episode 1 of Otaku Noir. My name's Anita, and let's get straight into it. So Otaku Noir is a channel that I created to share my seasonal anime list with you guys and my process for each season. So otaku means obsession, right? So an obsession with various things I think it means in Japanese, but for me, it's obviously an obsession of anime. So then I smashed noir on the end of that because I'm black, obviously. And I, want to make sure that I bring my blackness into everything that I do, that I say, that I, film, whatever. So Otaku Noir, that's how the name came about. So I think, in my mind, that I have a bit of a unique process to choosing new animes each season. And when I say new, I don't mean like animes that are spanning across like seasons, right? So I mean anime, they put out so much anime every season. I mean brand spanking new animes or like, manga adaptations sometimes. And so basically what I do is I like to try to find new animes each season because you kind of need something to watch when you've blasted through all of My Hero Academia or all of Black Clover. Black Clover lovers out here. What I do is I go through all of the anime sites every season, and there are a few anime sites that have calendars as well, so that you can see what is coming out during which season. And so I go through all of them, I read through all of the synopsis, I watch all of the trailers, and from there, I do a little bit of research into the studios behind the animes just to see if they've done other things that I like or, that I've watched before. And so, then there's that. So I usually start with a list of like 15 to 20 animes. Then I'll watch 1 or 2 episodes of those 15 to 20. And then from there, I curate a smaller list of like 5 to 8, sometimes maybe 10 depending on the anime season. And those are like my round 2. So I do them in rounds. So round 1 is what I'm going to share with you today. I've gone through all of the releases for this season. I've chosen 15 to 20 animes for my round 1 draft. And these are the animes that I'm going to watch the first 1 or 2 episodes of them. And then after that, I'll come back and do a round 2 draft. And that usually consists of like 5 to 8 animes, which I will not always watch all the way through, but I'll continue to watch them for like a couple more weeks. And then I usually end with about 3 to 4 animes that I've watched the entire season, and I'll come back and give you those animes as like my best animes of the season. Of course, I'll always discuss other anime related things and like ongoing series because I just really love all things anime related. And so stay tuned for that content, but the main purpose is just like new seasonal anime. Now that I've kind of established what I'm going to be talking about and how I'm going to talk about it, let's jump right into fall 2018 round 1. And just also a little note, these are in no particular order, these are just in the order in which that I found them. The first one is not a brand new anime. It really technically probably should be in like the OVA section of this piece, but I had to put it all the way at the top because I stand for the the first anime or the original anime of this. So the first one is Sword Art Online Alicization. Don't know what the hell if I'm saying that right. Whatever. Anyway, the synopsis is basically, where am I? Before he knows it, Kirito has made a full dive into an epic, fantasy-like virtual world. Okay? With only murky recollection of what has happened right before he logged in, he starts to wander around, searching for clues. Okay, I mean, after watching the trailer for this anime, I'm not particularly moved to watch it. Anyone who knows me knows that I stand for Sword Art Online content. I love the movie. There are a bunch of people like on the last movie, but that was released, I think, last summer. I really like it. I love all things Sword Art Online. I'm a software developer. That's why I got into software development, honestly, because I want to contribute to that full dive experience. But you know, that's why it's on my list and I'm still gonna watch it. All my real SAO peeps know why. But this anime is slated to release, or it's already been released, September 15th. I wanted to wait until I did this video, and you guys will just have to tune in to see if it actually makes the cut to my round 2 list. The next one is called Goblin Slayer. This is described as a young priestess has formed her first adventuring party, but almost immediately they find themselves in distress. It's the Goblin Slayer who comes to their rescue. It's the Goblin Slayer that comes to their rescue. A man who's dedicated his life to the extermination of all goblins by any means necessary. So this anime seems like it will be a filler for when I'm like in between like my big series that I'm watching or other new series that I really like and I need something to watch. The characters look interesting, different races and species, which is always nice. However, the one thing that could ruin this for me is the relationship between the Goblin Slayer and the priestess. Interested to see if it's going to be like an interesting relationship or like a kind of just interested to see what the relationship is going to be like, and if it's going to be more like an ecchi anime where it's like all draws and like, you know, boobs. Like those are good for those reasons, right? So if it is, like, I have nothing against that. I'm just saying, like, it would be great if it's not. So this one comes out October 7th, and I will be watching. Number 3 is Irozuku Sekai no Ashita Kara. So set in the city of Nagasaki, the story takes place in a world where a minuscule amount of magic remains in everyday life. Hitomi Tokishiro, a 17-year-old descendant of witch family who grew up with stale emotions as she lost her sense of color at a very young age. Feeling sorry for her granddaughter's future, Koukou, a great witch, sends Hitomi to the past, the year 2018, through exchanges with her 17-year-old grandmother and her club member. The story follows Hitomi's growth as a person. So, like, as I'm reading this, this kind of gives me, if you guys have seen Mary and the Witch's Flower on Netflix, I don't know if the storyline is exactly similar, if there's any correlation between the two, but it kind of reminds me of that storyline. And also, like, if you guys haven't watched that on Netflix, it's a bomb movie. It's so good. And so the story looks good. The storyline seems kind of unique enough to where it could be interesting for me. And, you know, outside of that, I think the animation style is very, very beautiful. Like, I live for good animation, which is why I was so into The Ancient Magus' Bride. So it looks like they're using real life objects in the animation, which seems interesting. So I'll be watching. And I won't keep putting or saying the release dates out loud. I'll just put them here, and I'll also put them down below next to the name, like when they're going to be released.
Number 5.
FLCL Alternative. This one I couldn't find a synopsis on it, but I think that it's based off a manga, and that it was supposed to be released earlier this year. And that this is a remake from, or a sequel to, an anime that was out in 2000, which I probably should watch. I want to watch this. So I don't know exactly what the storyline is here, but it looks pretty cool. I like, you know, from what I could tell about the storyline through the trailer, I'm all here for great animation. So this one has already started airing September 7th, but like I said previously, I wanted to wait till I did this video. You guys will just have to watch in a few weeks to see if it makes it to round 2. Number 6.
Ulysses.
Jeanne d'Arc to Renkin no Kishi. You know what? The story is set in the 15th century during the 100 Years' War between France and England over succession to the French throne. So basically, it's kind of like historical fiction. There's magic. But the reason why this is on my list, and I was like so excited, I put like, I'm watching this, because it looks like the Jane character, she looks like she gets transformed into some type of like higher being after getting liquid from some mysterious rock. And you know, I'm here for all the mystery and all the magic and all the transformations. I love to see a nice level up, okay? So I'll be watching that one. I don't know if it's at the top of my list. It just seemed like something that I could like filler, basically. The next one is called number 7, Radiant. Seth is an aspiring sorcerer from the Pompo Hills area. Like all wizards, he is an infected, one of the few living beings to survive the contact of the nemesis, creatures fallen from the sky that contaminate and decimate all those they touch. So being immune to them, Seth wants to become a hunter and fight the nemesis. So I think, to be honest with you, a lot of the animes that I read about this season it's like all like magic based, and I'm all for that. This looks interesting, but you know, I'll give it one episode to catch my attention. Number 8. Yagate Kimi Nai Naru. Yu has always loved shoujo manga and awaits the day she gets a love confession that sends her heart aflutter with bubbles and blushes, and yet when the junior high classmate confesses feelings to her, she feels nothing. Disappointed and confused, Yu enters high school, still unsure how to respond. Yu sees the beautiful student council president, Nanami, turn down a suitor with such maturity that she's inspired to ask her for help. But when the next person to confess to Yu is Nanami herself, has her shoujo romance finally begun? Well, so I'm a sucker for a good love story, as I've been watching countless hours of K-dramas and J-dramas and C-dramas. I don't know if that's what they're actually called. They're just dramas from different places. I watched Meteor Garden from China, which is so good. It's on Netflix. I've watched Sometimes in Something in the Rain, which is a Korean drama. What else have I watched? Anyways, I've watched a lot of them. And so I'm a good sucker for, you know, the dramas. And so I'm gonna give this anime a try because it seems like an interesting love story. So yeah. Also kind of gives me like Nana vibes. If any of you guys watch Nana, let me know down below. Love that. SSSS.Gridman is the next one. Okay, so this one doesn't have a synopsis, but it looks dope. It was rebooted once before this, I believe. And I like the idea of the guy only being able to see the evil and turning out to be the hero. I'll give this, you know, an episode to kind of wow me, but I think it's something that's kind of on the bottom of my list. RErideD. Tokigoe no Derrida. When a development engineer, Derrida, what are these names, y'all? Derrida, D-E-L-I-D-A, Derrida. Get it? Derrida. Wakes up in the future from a cold sleep. His girlfriend isn't there. He decides to go back 10 years in time to that incident to keep his promise with her. The key to get her back is a time leap. This anime, just reading the synopsis and watching the trailer, seems decent. I like that there's some sort of like fall from grace for this guy, how he gets put to sleep for 10 years and then he has to search for his girlfriend. Not really sure what a DDS is, but it seems like a cool concept and wondering how everything ties together. I'll give this an episode to wow me as well. Tsurune, Kazemai, Koukou, Kyuudou-bu. I butchered it for sure. This story follows Minato Narumiya. Minato played Japanese archery in middle school, but after a certain incident, he ran away from the sport. In high school, Minato meets new friends, and together as a part of their new school's archery club, they aim to win the prefectural tournament. I'm trying to get more into sports animes because I used to like not want to watch them just because I just thought it wasn't my thing. I was forced to watch Hajime no Ippo with someone, I won't say who, you know who you are. And I have to give it credit. It was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm trying to get more into sports animes because I'm realizing that they can be interesting and they can have like good content. And also that usually, as I've been like looking at the trailers for these things, like the quality of the animation is like always like really good. So I'm gonna give this one a try. All right, y'all. So this next one I'm about to talk about is like my number one anime. Like this is the one that I'm gonna be checking for. Like this is the kind of like star anime that I'm looking forward to this fall. This one is called Karakuri Circus. So Karakuri Circus revolves around the protagonist Masaru. He just inherited a big fortune after the death of his father. However, people are trying to get their hands on it by any means necessary, even if it means killing him. Narumi helps Masaru from being kidnapped after fighting strange figures. He finds out that they're not humans, but wooden puppets with an amazing strength. After a hard fight, Narumi is forced to admit that he's no opponent for them. And just when he starts to think that Masaru will be captured, Shitara, Masaru's watcher, arrives from France with a weapon, the puppet, Harlequin. Here begins the story of Karakuri Circus. Alright, y'all, so let's get into why this anime is like my number one anime this season. So, this anime is going to have a bit of a special place for me because as soon as I watched the trailer, I felt like I was looking at something that was very familiar to me. And I did a little digging around and found out that the studio behind Hunter x Hunter is doing this anime. And that makes so much sense. Watching the trailer, I was immediately taken back to Hunter x Hunter anime style, as well as the fight scenes. They look so good. And so the storyline seems to be cool and interesting. The animation is beautiful and it looks action-packed, so I just like love it. And so just a bit of background on this anime. It's an adaptation of Kazuhiro Fujihita's Karakuri Circus manga from 2015 and 2016. And so the connection to Hunter x Hunter is through Kaiji Mita, who led production of Hunter x Hunter at Madhouse. So Mita left Madhouse and founded his own studio, Studio Voln, or Voln, V-O-L-N. And he brought a lot of the Madhouse staff who worked on Hunter x Hunter with him. So he was brought on actually to lead the production of one of Fujihita's other mangas to anime called Oshia and Toro, which I haven't watched and I might check it out now that I know that. But he was brought on by an anime producer, OG Masoe Maruyama. So through this joint effort to produce Ushia and Toro, they decided they wanted to do Karakuri Circus, and you know, we're here. So I literally can't wait for this anime to come out. It comes out October 11th, 2018, and I'm just really excited. It looks just like Hunter x Hunter animation and those fight scenes. Again, I was like just taken aback and completely just back to like Hisoka anime fight scenes. Like, you know, great stuff. So that's like my number one anime, and I don't know. I'm hoping it makes it to my round 2, but we'll see. The next one is Akanesasu Shoujo. So girls who live in a provincial city perform a certain ritual. The girls are in the Crystal Radio Club. It's an interest circle that Asuka, a girl known for her cheerfulness, started with friends, and coincidentally, falling into place, it stops being fun and games. I don't know what that means. This seems like an interesting concept of powers gained in another dimension. It's giving me like XL World type vibes, and I really love XL World. So short. But this is like what this anime is reminding me of, and so I'm gonna watch this anime. Kaze ga Tsuyoku Fuite Iru. So Kakeru, a former elite runner at a high school, is chased for stealing food. He is saved by a Kansai University student, Haiji, who is also a runner. Haiji persuades Kakeru to live in an old apartment where he plans to team up with fellow residents to enter the Hakone Ekiden Marathon. So again, with the sports dramas, I'm into it. The animation style seems pretty aesthetically pleasing. I couldn't find a specific release date for this one, but it just looks like it comes out in October 2018 sometime. So I'm gonna give it a whirl. Next we have Dakaretai Otoko One Ni Orusare. Right. I'm gonna put it right here. So the synopsis starts off with, I'll make it so your body's unable to forget mine. Saiju Takado's 5-year reign as the most huggable #1 has been snatched. Stealing his thunder is a newbie actor with a 3-year debut, Azumaya. Towards the stuffy, hostile Takado, Azumaya's sincere, sparkling smile starts to become effective. Even as Takado sets his alert level on max, Azumaya catches Takado in his shameful drunken state and uses it to blackmail him. In exchange for Azumaya's silence, Azumaya states, "Please let me hold you, embrace me. Who is the most huggable #1?" What the heck is he saying? It includes a large quantity of other high suspense erotic stories. Okay, so I like the animation style that's #1. I'm always here for romance. I'm always here for erotic stuff. And I'm always here for, you know, a little same-sex action, you know? So I'm gonna watch this. I don't know if I could compare it to like Yuri on Ice, which I loved, but like it sucks. It's not making it to the next round. Sora to Uni no Aida, set in Onomichi City, 6 girls dream of becoming space fishermen. They aim to capture god-eating monsters to that leave fish vulnerable, as well as enemies which they encounter. So I don't really know what else there needs to be said about this. 2 words, space fisherman. I'm sold. Like that's all I need to you know, I don't really need anything else. So I'll be watching that. Soten no Ken, Regenesis 2nd season. So there's no synopsis for this, but I like how the main character is super badass and just trying to live a quiet life, but is forced out of retirement. Sounds like John Wick. He's about to like up. I'll give it 1 or 2 episodes to keep my attention, but I just think I like character dynamic of like this badass guy who's went into retirement but is being pulled out of retirement, you know, against his will. So I'll be watching that. That was the end of the new animes that I'll be watching fall 2018 season. There are also a couple of OVAs that I'm going to be watching. The first one is ReZero, Memory Snow. And so I'll be watching this OVA because I had a friend that really, really, really loved ReZero, like loved it a lot. And I finally watched it just to show him that it was like a whack-ass anime so I could tell him that. But I actually, you know, turned out to like it. So I'll be watching this OVA just to see what happens. It looks interesting. And the second one that I'll be keeping my eye on watching is the Yu Yu Hakusho OVA. So I don't really know if you guys have seen Yu Yu Hakusho. I am halfway through it. I haven't finished it yet just because I have so many animes that I'm trying to watch. But it's Yu Yu Hakusho. One of my favorite manga anime artists, Yoshihiro Togashi. What more is there left to say? I'm watching it. I'm watching all of that. Yeah, it comes out October 26th. I'll be watching, keeping a close eye on it, and you guys just have to tune in and see if I'm still watching by the end of, you know, when I come to my round 2 of fall 2018. That is it for fall 2018 round 1. If I missed any animes that you think I should be checking for, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll also put my full list in the comment section below with the release dates so you guys can see a quick look at what I'm watching this season. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Otaku Noir, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace! What up? That was kind of lame. What up? Wasn't really feeling that one. What up? No, that's like too like. So the next one is called Goblin. But I don't know if it was like at the top of my. Tsurune, Kazemai, Council President. I hate my braces.